because we have, listen. Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Real on Parenting. And apparently, welcome to daughters who don't know what they mamas be doing.
Right.
Y'all, ask my mother, where are you? Now, normally, when she don't want to tell me, she'd be like, what do you want? Right? Rude. But she's like, I'm grown. Ma'am, is grown a place? Because I can't find it on Google Maps. Where is I'm grown? I
In her
why you
business.
can't
That's
just tell me where you are? Where are you?
if it could just be that simple. It'd be appreciated though. It'd be
I
very
just want
much
to
be
know where you
appreciated.
are. I need to know your location. Something could happen. And I gotta drop everything and get to you. I don't know where you are, and you won't let me put a tracker in your car. So can we
The tracker. She just turn on her location.
but
Just go
she
ahead
won't
and
do that. She won't share
you
it.
just toggle it on
I
when
just
you're
found out a friend of mine been sharing her location with my mom for like a year and a half. I don't I
the
okay.
thing. I think that's another show. The transition of parenting, the mother daughter role, and how that sometimes it starts shifting. There is
But
an
how
age
come
where
I
it
can't
starts
just know what's going on?
because she told you she grown. That's what she said. So
I can't say that when she asked me.
this is very true. This right here is very true. I want you to be able to be present physically for all the future shows that we have and in my life. So yes,
Anyway.
at least you are aware to not have those words come out your mouth. Okay. hmm Okay.
All right. So today's show, clearly, as y'all can see, I'm off balance. And so today's show is going to be ran by therapist Danielle.
Oh,
Did we do introductions? Hi, y'all.
we
I'm
did
Coach
not.
Kiana Shaw,
And I'm therapist Danielle. If you didn't already know, we
and
are
we
the
are the
real
real
on
on
parenting. Okay,
parenting.
and we come in how we come in. We do the best that we can at that moment.
Normally, we
Every
come
show is
in
different.
laughing at something because we done said something crazy to one another. But today, I'm just like, it's like, where is my mom? Remember when they had the little commercial that used to pop up when we were younger, and it would be like, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? I'm just like,
You know where your mama is.
do you know
Where's
where
your
your
parent?
mama is?
Where's your parent?
Where's my parent? Now I don't have to worry about my dad. I always know where he is because he always answers his phone. Hi, Dad. He answers his phone. My mom would be like, I'll answer when I'm done. Ma'am,
We need to make sure you say that's all.
I gotta find a support group because that lady don't listen. I just
If y'all want that to be another show topic, go ahead and email us. Share with
parent
us the
support group.
experiences, right, as being the
Yes.
adult
Does your mother
child.
not listen?
However, the roles are
Does she
starting
give
to
you
transition.
attitude when you
Right.
ask her
They
questions?
starting to switch. And you didn't get the memo that that was happening. We're in that phase of parenting, all right? Our adult children.
If you two don't ever know where your parent is,
Hit us
email
up.
us at the
Hit
real
us up, okay? We're
parents.
going to find it for you.
No,
Or at least
I can't find my own mama. I can't help
I'll
find
give you the
nobody else.
wording to say. I'll tell you what to say. It's one thing I can do.
Oh
But
goodness.
anywho, we digress. We ain't even said the topic yet. So
Okay, let's go.
today's topic, today's topic is
Now
a
see
pearl
there.
clutcher. And I'm saying a lot of our topics have kind of been kind of controversial, but this one is we're gonna call it toxic and clueless. And typically, if a person is toxic, there is a level of cluelessness that
Absolutely.
is present. But this is speaking in the realm in regards to just the struggle of dealing with a family with no emotional intelligence. And so
Mhm.
we're still speaking to parents, speaking to all adults,
Right.
but we're speaking to the parent. And you as a person, how you doing? Okay. That's the question, because you coming from a place that has minimal to no emotion. So how are you doing, first of all, just being a person, let alone a parent?
Right,
And
right.
then within that, how is parenthood going? And then within that, how are your kids? So we're gonna speak about all the different stages because it has a domino effect.
Jeez. That's
So
what happens
toxic,
when you in charge. Because, girl, what?
so toxic and clueless when your family does not have emotional intelligence and just the struggles with dealing with that.
Yes, yes, very good.
Did you want
I
me
was,
to proceed? Okay, so let's talk
yeah, I'm like,
about what is this more maybe more of a psychology one-on-one aspect. It may be a 203 because you know how to if you went to college,
I
no
mean,
disrespect,
I
no
got the
minimizing,
basics.
but
I went
okay.
to college. I'm good.
But for those who haven't, it don't mean that you needed to go. I'm just that's how the classes roll. You said numbers. Anyways, so emotional intelligence. So it's the it's the ability to actually understand, being aware of your own actual emotions, what you are experiencing, the ability to understand and also manage them. Manage them meaning control.
Mhm.
Control them, communicate what you're experiencing in a healthy and a respectful way. And then some
Yes,
of the obvious reasons as a way of relieving stress, as a way of communicating what your needs are based upon what you're experiencing. Excuse me. It also allows the ability to empathize with others, overcome challenges, or just address the challenge, but also conflict resolution. And
right,
that's a little word with a big definition, but it encompasses all those things, and all those
right,
things are needed. Is everyone able to do all of those all at once to that capacity? No, not off the bat. No, this is something that we learn by seeing.
right.
A lot of us ain't seen that.
So
Okay.
it's no way to have learned behavior in it.
Exactly. So that aspect of we are a species. We see and we do, you know, and it doesn't make it. It's not a right or wrong aspect. That's just the way in which our brain functions. We
Right,
pull from what we have seen and what we have observed, whether it's right or wrong. But that's what we pull from. That's our reference point. So when you have no emotional intelligence, when your household did not demonstrate or model emotional intelligence, it has an impact. It has this rippling effect, and I call it the layering of the onion because it's not a one little thing. It impacts so many aspects of you being a person, you loving
right.
yourself, how you interact with friends, how you interact with those you're intimate with, how you interact with your colleagues, and then your colleagues are not your friends, but that's a whole nother show. Just you gotta have boundaries, but within that, it impacts your functioning overall, and then also being a parent. You may not realize it or you may not want to accept it, but it has a major impact on how you parent and the way you are able to be present or not be present.
Right.
So that's what we're going to hit on and talk about for today. If you are a note taker, pull out your sticky notes, pull out the notes of your phone, whatever you use as a way
Already
to
got it.
as a way
Because
to
y'all
because some
know.
of these things will may hit personally. It may be like, oh, that's me. Or you may think it in
Right,
your head. Or it may be someone else that is a family member, but it's all being provided from a place of love. It's all being provided from a place of giving, excuse me, giving information so that you can make the proper adjustments to allow you to be a better, healthier, mentally and emotionally person, which trickle
yes.
down to being a better parent. All right. Well, so with that long introduction, all right. So this goes down to everybody should be clear on what we're talking about. Don't say you didn't know because I told you very detailed. All right. So within coming from a family that has no emotional intelligence, it has an emotional and a behavioral impact. And we'll say if you
Mhm.
go back to your younger self, but even so, your own children, it has an emotional and behavioral impact on the children. We're all
Yes.
adults now, but at one point we were all kids. So,
Right. And some of us are still emotionally children because we never developed, we never got what we needed to
yes.
actually, grow out of certain stages.
Right. Briefly, we all should have emotionally mastered different developmental, I would put quote unquote milestones. So
Right,
with you saying that, correct. If you have not emotionally mastered various emotional milestones, and mind you, these emotional milestones and when you should have been mastered when you were a kid. Okay.
right,
This goes back. If you have not mastered that for yourself and or come to a place to acknowledge, okay, I notice I have a hard time of even just functioning when I'm sad.
right,
I notice that I do. I'm a doer. I say I'm fine. I don't communicate that I am sad in the first place. I don't allow myself to cry. This is part of it. And granted, there's many examples, but you did not master the aspect of acknowledging, identifying, and regulating vulnerable feelings. It
right.
doesn't magically appear. It takes work. So if you didn't have that model or that reference as a child in a healthy and safe way, it's not going to appear because you're an adult. As an adult, it takes work,
More work probably, because not only
way
are
more
you
work.
learning the emotions and are you learning to cope and then heal and all that, but then there's an expectation of you as an adult to be able to do these things. Like nobody is giving you the
Correct.
grace of
Right.
learning.
Right. There is that
Mhm.
default assumption. I won't even say expectation. It is assumed because you are an adult that you know how to manage, you know how to regulate, you know how to communicate, and obviously behave accordingly. And,
Oh, say that one again.
behave. Some of y'all need a whooping, okay? We need to go. This ain't abuse, okay? This is in the sake of you should have got your tail whooped a long time ago. Act right. So, with that being said,
Somebody gonna write
so
us a letter on that. We getting the email.
but with that, so let's talk about that. What does that look like? Like you had kind of shared the difficulty with expressing emotions.
Hmm.
You have a hard time communicating, let alone even having the word come out your mouth.
Right,
I'm sad, I'm mad, I'm overwhelmed. Or you, it may sound like, you know how I get when I get upset.
right.
And
Or
what
that's
is
the
that
way I've
supposed to,
always been. This is who I am. That's just me.
and whether and that
Uh-huh.
is a choice. You're choosing to display that behavior in that moment, and it doesn't
Right.
make it right. So stop it. So with that, so the difficulty of
Y'all hear
expressing,
mama? You hear what mama
right.
said?
I'm about to go back and forth with this one, okay? Because there's parts of that needs to be addressed in regards to your inner child, if you will.
Hmm. Hmm.
Aspects of things that you experienced as a child that impacts your functioning as an individual, but also
Right.
as a parent. So I'm kind of going to be speaking to both simultaneously. So the difficulty of expressing emotions, there can be a lot of minimizing. There can be a lot of avoiding. There's going to be a lot of deflecting in regards
Right.
to how you're feeling. And
And that's
but
a
with
lot.
yeah, right. And with that, it's like it's clear by your behavior that something is going on. You're feeling a feeling that you're having a hard time with.
Hmm.
And let's pause. We're human. I don't care how old you are, you're human. And things will happen that result in you feeling feelings that feel good and feeling feelings that does not feel good. We
Yeah.
don't get to pick and choose what we want to feel. It'd be nice, but that's not realistic. We feel feelings that feel good and we feel feelings that don't feel good. And with those feelings that don't feel good, it doesn't automatically mean that you have to struggle with them. It doesn't
Right.
default mean that. However, when there's been an avoidance, when there has been no reference or no modeling as a child of what to do when you're sad, what to do when you're frustrated, what to do when you're confused, there is that default of kind of like panic. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? There
I think
is
a lot of us also grew up in households where nobody expressed emotions outside of anger.
correct.
So it's
Yes.
like you never saw your mom, like just sit and cry and like, Mom, what's wrong? oh, mommy is just, I'm emotional today.
Right. And
Like
giving
it's
words
never
to
been
that.
normalized.
Yes, yes, yes. It makes me think of I've worked with a lot of people in a lot of different capacities, but at this time I was working with children. And I asked them by raising hand, what feelings were shown in your family right now? By mom, by dad, my sister, brother. And the main feelings was sad, happy, and mad.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hmm. Nothing in
And if any
between.
exactly nothing in between. And everybody can Google feelings, a list of feelings. It ain't three.
Right.
It's more than three. Okay. And with that, it's just kind of to go to the of
Now I'm
showing
about to go
that
Google it. What
no,
what
go
are
Google
a
it.
list of
List of
feelings?
feelings. It's gonna be more than 33. Okay. There are a lot because also with feelings, there's layers to it. So, and with the kids, they were sharing how their family or their parents, just come down to it, really did not communicate how they were feeling themselves. So
Mm-hmm.
then, how are the kids supposed to know what to do with the feelings that don't feel good when you're not showing what to do? And
Right.
then the parents are bringing their children to therapy saying to fix them. Well, it seems like you need to have a seat as well because you only know the three feelings.
Danielle.
I'm just saying. I'm not your average therapist, and nor am I going to be, but this is there because it's not, you
She
have
said,
to
have a
address
seat
the
as well.
whole picture. Yes,
We're
because
gonna
there's
do
more than three
family
feelings.
counseling today.
Yes. So, with that, there is the lack of seeing and experiencing somebody actually talking about their feelings
Yes.
outside of the three. And even with the three, that may or may not be innuendoed or I do that when I'm mad, or how I get when I'm frustrated,
Yeah.
then there's likely the demonstration of unhealthy ways and ineffective ways to manage those feelings.
Right.
Um, there's also what's called so when you hold your feelings in, when you don't talk about them, when you
Hmm.
avoid them, you're holding it in. It's called internalizing. You're
Right.
internalizing what you're feeling. And that is a slippery slope
Right. Because
because
that's gonna lead to all kind of stuff.
that our body experiences distressing feelings as stress. It
Hmm.
doesn't say, oh, this is a feeling and it goes over here. No, it is tension on the body. You start
Yes.
experiencing physical symptoms, you start experiencing medical conditions. So if you have gut issues, if you have GI issues, if you have heartburn, if you have difficulty breathing,
Right.
girl, I'm
Did
gonna go
you?
down the whole list. The commercial be like, if you did such and such, and here we go. If you holding your feelings in, if you have headaches,
Yeah. Because stress is gonna bring a lot. The definition of stress when I'm saying this based on when I'm teaching and how I teach my students like how to recognize stress, but
Mhm.
stress is really just the body's reaction to harmful situations. The key
Right.
is it's harmful situations whether they are real or perceived. And I always give the example because I have control issues, one, and then I'm afraid of heights, two. So an airplane is like double kryptonite for me, right? The minute I book my ticket somewhere, my anxiety, my stress is through the roof, right? When I get on the airplane, I used to like to say, I got to reword it and say, I'm excited. I'm excited. Nah, I am stressed and I'm scared. And I'm
Yeah,
on the airplane. People can be asleep, right? And you feel the little bumps and all that. And people just, nobody's reacting. But then there's me holding on for dear life to this doggone
literally.
seat. Everybody's like, just go to sleep. I can't, because if I go to sleep, who is going to use their brain power to keep this plane in the air?
For the person who's smoking who's not a pilot, right?
Honey, I have to warn the flight attendants. I'm looking at your faces. As long as you smiling, I know that I can calm down. The minute you have the old ish look on your face, I'm about to, all hell for to break loose on this air.
Oh
But
goodness.
explain it to them. It's real
Yeah.
or perceived, because sometimes we are
Right.
stressed about things that we have made up in our head. I have never been
Yes.
in a plane crash, thank God. But I know that they are a real thing.
Yeah.
However, I also mentally know that it's safer than driving. But when I'm driving, I like I'm in control. Right. So again, I got control issues and I'm afraid of heights. So double kryptonite for me. So when you feel threatened, it's that chemical reaction that occurs, right? And so now you're in your fight or flight mode. When you're in your fight or flight mode, your body is like, okay, increased heart rate, blood pressure rises, all these things, and you've gotten ready to act. Me, I'm getting ready to go take
React.
over the pilot, or
She sure is. And she
act
will
and
get
react.
behind the seat. Yeah,
Listen,
she
not
will
knowing
do.
what, just back there, just like, okay, now tell me
She
what to
like, I'm gonna
do
figure it
instead of
out.
just moving. Like, okay, you don't tell me how to. I did think about going to aviation so that I could fly a
Stop.
plane should I ever need it.
Stop.
That's too much work. But the thing is, the point is that stress I'm causing on myself,
Right,
right?
right, right,
When I'm
right,
thinking of stuff, anytime you're thinking of stuff and all the possibilities and you are worried about them, you're creating it yourself because it's not even here yet. You are like,
right.
and I am consciously going, as long as we're thinking, we may as well think positive.
Right. Yeah,
As
it's
long
called a cognitive distortion, but you did an
But
excellent
I
job
mean,
of
great
explaining it.
job giving the word, right? Because
But
I don't
that's
know.
what it is, right? You gave me an excellent
Okay, I'm
example
speaking in
because
layman's term. I'm
we
like,
get
yeah,
to choose how we think. We get to
right,
choose the story that we tell ourselves. And I think
right.
that's a whole nother episode. But we have those family members where we live the same childhood, we have the same life, but then they grow up and they come up with this other story that they done convinced themselves and they believe. That's what
Yes.
that is.
And there it could be that but it's also perception. This is how I
Right,
perceived I was felt. This is how I felt in those moments where you were like, oh, I'm gonna write it off. I internalized it all, and now we
right,
do have
right,
two different childhood upbringings in the same house. That's how you can have 4, 5, 6 kids raised in the same home, and one of them becomes a doctor and the rest of them are out doing whatever they can to survive. Vice versa, you can have a whole bunch of them,
right. And then be
five
the
of them that
one.
went and did great things, and then you got that
Right,
one that you just like,
right,
how did you grow up with us and you didn't get what we got?
right. They didn't have
You
sticky
dress
notes. I'm being
different.
funny,
Yeah.
but
You
yeah,
said what?
they didn't have sticky notes. But I'm just playing. But no, but very, very true.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
How we experience life situations. We're all different people, even as a child. Your children are
Yes.
people. It sounds silly, but in the moment of parenting, we forget that a lot. We
Yep.
cannot tell them how they felt based off of something you did
Come on.
or
You
based
ain't
off
that
something that
sad.
experience. Right. Right. So,
Okay.
and the same thing for you. No one can tell you how you feel.
Yes.
Feelings are not right or wrong. However, what you do with them can be right.
Right.
Oh, we'll just say can be safe and unsafe, can be
And let
healthy
me
or
give an
unhealthy.
example of that. And
Okay.
because I think that people miss this.
Okay.
You can feel that you have been done wrong by
Wrong.
someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I see this a lot in coaching. You'll have a parent who feel that they're being done wrong by the other parent, and then they start recruiting the child. Didn't we do this? Didn't daddy say this? Didn't mama say that? No, that's
Mm-hmm.
how you felt about it.
Yeah,
Your
that was
child was
your
playing
experience.
video games and didn't even
Right.
think about it. They
Minding their
were
own
over here with
business.
dolls,
Mm-hmm.
not thinking about it. But now you have dragged them in
Mm-hmm.
inappropriately at that, right? And then it's
Right.
like they start to identify, because if I live with daddy and daddy is saying mommy has done something, and he's going on and on, yep, yep. But that's not necessarily agreement so much as survival, because how crazy is daddy gonna get
Yeah.
because I don't agree with how he feels mama did? That can be a
Right.
situation as well. And I think that a lot of us grew up in families where you have that emotionally and intellectually challenged person that was in charge of the kids. That could be
Yeah.
grandma babysitting every day. That could
Right.
Child, listen, it's a
Yeah.
frustration because as I'm coaching, I see it and I'm just like, you don't
Hmm.
understand how you're damaging your kid by
And
by
they
bringing them
don't.
into this. You don't understand how it's
And they
unfair to
don't.
your child for you to alienate them or create an environment where they don't want to be around their other parent because of what you have said. And then when they get 16, 17, you want deputy daddy, you want,
Right.
mama to come in
To show
and
up
and
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 try
let
to do
them
damage
know and correct,
control.
and you're not helping. Well, you
Yeah.
have kept me from parenting. You have kept me not even, when I say parenting, I'm not even just talking about the actual biological parents. There are aunts and uncles who are trying to make corrections along the way.
Hmm.
And you're like,
Yeah.
that's my kid. You still messing them up.
Yeah.
That's not a badge of honor. This is my kid, and only I can say you're still messing them up. Allow us to help you, guide you, protect you, help your
Right.
child so that
Right.
we don't have to help you fix them. But
Right.
okay, go ahead.
Exactly. Exactly. And also within that, parenting is not a solo bolo thing. Don't get me wrong. Everybody's
Listen.
situation is different.
Now we will
I'm
let you do it
totally
solo bolo if you don't know how to act.
you're right.
Step the hill.
Everybody's situation is different, but there's phases of parenting,
Yes.
and there's going to be more than one phase that hits us in a personal level
Yeah.
because we
Absolutely.
all have our own stuff. Um, with that, your children gonna get to a point because we was there where your parents don't know what they talking about. Mama don't know what she talking about. Dad don't know what he talking about. Sister don't know. We've been there. We live that. Your child is not excluded from it because it's your child. No,
Yes.
they're going through the developmental phases like everybody else. Okay, so right now, if you got that 10 and a half to 17, you're in a parenting, you don't know ish, okay? According to your child. And you may not. Some parents don't. I'm just saying. Just being honest.
Listen, you
But
went from knowing it all to
to
how dare
being
you be this
BFF
dumb at this
to
old age?
right.
Listen,
You
y'all, my
don't know
daughter's a
nothing.
preteen, and I'm just
So
like, so you just don't think baby,
you ain't not a spell your name.
I
Anyway,
invented the games you playing. Like, don't play with
right.
me.
So and that's typical and that's normal. I digress. So getting
Right.
back to the topic at
Because
hand.
clearly we triggered.
Right. Right. But getting back to the topic, other aspects that present itself is a person who is petrified, who avoids conflict of any nature.
Okay.
Um, and you have those people who bout about it, who want to address it. But however,
Right. Who can't let no conflict go.
that is sometimes it ain't even a conflict, but that we'll get there. But
Right.
there are people who kind of just let it just ride on by
Mm-hmm.
because they are scared of the potential. And I say potential because as an adult, you don't, for the most part, don't know what everybody's going to do. Or even just growing up. Let's just say that as growing up, you don't know how everyone is going to respond to a situation. With some people,
Right.
it's going to be a conflict. So my husband was never scared of a conflict. But however, I'll never do an argument because I learned early on that arguing with someone is me literally handing over my power. I'm
Mm.
too much of a control freak to be handing over my power. That's what's not going to happen. So I learned real quick the whole arguing, we can discuss this, but if I feel that I cannot keep my tone like this, and I'm
Right.
not saying it was easy, it took a lot of practice and a lot of therapy, but I know my body. I've been
Mm-hmm.
forced to listen to my body and what it's showing me. And if the other person that we may have a disagreement, whatever the case may be, if they showing they can't handle it, then we both need to pause. And
Right.
you can continue to talk if you want to, but I'm walking away. I'm already in my mental deep breathing, okay? And you may feel I'm ignoring you, but I'm over here breathing. So with that,
But you ignoring too.
no, because I said what
I've
I
seen you
said.
breathe.
If you
I've
chose
seen
to
you breathe
continue
with
to
people.
talk, that that was before I don't. That was before child. Let's put it that
So
way.
not ignoring, just no longer engaging is what you.
There you go. But it's communicating what you need.
Right.
So at this moment, I'm upset, and I don't want to disrespect you in any way because of something I said out of being upset. I'm going to talk about this later.
Yeah.
Now, if
Absolutely.
you choose to continue to talk while walking away, that's on you. You
Yes.
chose to keep on talking. But there are people who truly just avoid all conflict. They try to just make adjustments off what they feel they can adjust or ignore, avoid, and give
Mm-hmm.
it time. Time does not equate to resolution, and time does not equate to understanding.
Yeah.
So you have people who are operating in fear, functioning in fear by default. That's their default. Just
Yeah.
imagine just that feeling. And just imagine being that parent who then has to be the protector, have to be the safeguard for their child, whether that's within a family relationship or at school. And the level of distress that it heightens because now they're kind of forced to be in a position to address it in some way. It doesn't mean it's going to be addressed at all, but imagine that level of emotional distress when a person operates off of avoiding all conflict.
Yes.
And it also shows that they cannot be emotionally present for their child.
Right. And I think that sometimes like the extreme of it all is you're either avoiding the conflict because you don't have a backbone in a lot of cases. You're avoiding the conflict because again, you just decided I am no longer engaging because for my peace to keep me
Your
together,
safety, right?
because me personally, I have a 1 and I have an 8,000.
Correct.
Somewhere
Right,
like
right.
those numbers in between kind of got lost.
Correct. So I said,
I'll be
knowing
trying to.
yourself.
I have tried to like, hey, take it to 4,000. You know what I mean? But that's still a lot between 1 and 4,000.
It is.
We listen, we don't judge, okay? But but we have those parents who are extremely aggressive that because they're wrong, like, and I'm saying parents, but I'm just saying people in general.
Right, right,
A
right.
lot of times, those people who are extremely aggressive. Now, I'm not talking about the snapback, right? Because or the
Right.
clapback, I should say, because my clapback is anointed. That being said,
Is that we calling it these days? We have improved. It's a work in progress. Go
my
ahead.
clapback is anointed.
All right.
When I say it,
Noted.
you're
Now
gonna
you
be
can
like,
write that
wait
down.
a minute. Just okay. Okay. But the point is, then you have the people who are just aggressive in their communication with
Yes,
everything. And
yes,
that's a
yes.
behavioral issue. If someone is saying, hey, that's not what happened, but you are convinced that that is what happened. So now you screaming at the top of your lungs. Now you want to fight. You want to start swinging. You like it's like they can't even
Right,
get out. You can't even hear somebody else's point of view.
right, right,
Conflict
right.
is literally just the tension or disagreement
Attention.
between two parties. It does not have to be a fight.
It
But when
doesn't
you
have to be a
are
fight. Right.
lacking conflict resolution, when you are high stressed, when your attitude is challenged and not managed, you're going to create behavioral problems inside of yourself and the people around you. Meaning
Yeah.
the people who are looking up to you, the people who are getting their care from you, the people who are learning from you.
Hmm.
And I've
Yeah.
seen that. I was talking to a client and I was like, listen, your son gonna be getting his behind kicked at school if you don't get this together because
Right.
never should he be 13 and crying over something as small as a pencil. Like, and I'm just giving an example, but
Oh
something
yeah,
as small
it'd
as
be
they
minimal.
have my pencil.
Yeah.
Why are you and then why are you
Why is this a
going,
thing, first of
why but
all?
not only that, but why are you enabling this behavior by going, he's just so upset about this pencil? Ma'am, it's the number 2. Just go get another pencil. It didn't have no designs on it or nothing. Like I don't understand. Like it wasn't a legacy pencil. Like there, it don't like write the answers when you get it wrong. Not it's Literally, we talking about a big, like, what is it? What is this?
Yeah,
Just a number two. That's
yeah,
it. Why is
yeah.
this an issue? You understand what I'm saying?
Right,
But when
right.
you are not emotionally regulated,
Regulated. Right, right.
when your children exhibit the same behavior, and I'm not a therapist, so I'm not going to diagnose you or your child as manic.
I
I'm
will.
not going to. I know.
And
Tell me
say
again, girl.
sometimes diagnose the family, without even seeing them. But going to what you're saying,
I can't.
it's because we got to be honest with ourselves. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
we
did
have
you
to be
have to do
honest.
that? Did you?
Yes, I did because people need to understand. They need to hear. They ain't got to understand. They at least who said it? Therapist name,
But
because
I'm
she
hearing
said it.
what's not being said. That's the problem.
Oh, so
That's the problem we having right now.
well, hey, for those who hearing it not being said, that too, we need to accept everyone's part
Mm-hmm.
in regards to as a parent, as an adult, as a parent, the impact that it has on us being a person
Yes.
and a parent. And within that, you need to choose on what you're going to do to address those various aspects for you.
Right.
So if you are
And
a
choose
parent,
wisely.
right, and I always say healthy and safe. I ain't gonna say wisely because everybody wise is different. So if you are a parent who feels that whenever something happens to your child, you're on the other end. That's my baby, and then and you coming with your super cape on. No, you're not allowing your child to be able to learn or even attempt to regulate
Yeah.
because you're coming in to protect it.
Yeah.
And that's
Absolutely.
not healthy because 5 is different from 10, and 10 is different from 15, and 15 is different from 20. And
Right.
what you gonna do? Keep on doing the same thing?
And as a parent, you have to be able to tell your child, like, this is something you have to self manage. How do you feel about this? What do you think the correct action should be? Where did you get that from? Like, do you think that this was influenced by how mommy behaves, or do you think that this
I
is
was just
mommy's thought
about to
process?
say yes, and it may, and when you, one, you should be asking these questions to be honest, but
Yeah.
two, do not get upset at the answer. And to be honest, your kids may not even answer the question because they know how you're going to respond.
Right.
You are an adult. Move my finger down. I'm over here pointing. Um,
Nice nails, by the way. I was going to mention
thank
that a
you.
few minutes ago, and I was like, that's probably not the
You
time, but they're
are
beautiful.
you are the adult. So if you're asking your child a question,
Hmm.
expect the honest answer.
Yep.
And if it's something that you need to digest, you need to say, that was a lot for mommy. That was a lot for daddy. Let me take a moment and think about what you just said.
Hmm.
You need to show that you're not perfect. We're human. You need to
Right.
show that you have the ability to adjust and work on things.
And a lot of us
This
grew up with family members who never felt they were wrong, never were
right.
made to apologize. So they literally feel like everything they do is
Hmm.
correct. Oh, I don't have to apologize because well, wait a minute. If you hurt someone's feelings, if you have disturbed someone's peace, whether you did it intentionally or not, what
That's
does it
what.
take from
Yes,
you to go ahead and, you know what? I apologize. Not, I apologize that you feel that
you
way.
felt.
No,
There you go. That's what I was about to say.
I apologize for my role in this. The end. Shut your
Period.
mouth.
That's it.
Shut your mouth.
That
I
that's it.
apologize for my role in this. Shut your mouth.
That's it. Say it one more time because I think somebody they
I
need to write it down.
apologize
Hmm.
for my role in this.
Hmm.
Shut your mouth.
There you go.
So
There it
don't
is.
say the shut your mouth part out because that's for
No,
you.
you. That's for you exactly. That's in the parentheses in an italicized font. That's for you. There's no more
Yes.
words that
And
should
I
be
think
coming out
we
of your
have
mouth
a
at that
thing
point.
of feeling like if I apologize, then I'm admitting that I'm wrong. No, it's not that. You're apologizing to keep peace. Now, here's the thing, because as part of being having toxic families, some of us have learned to keep the peace around us at the expense of the peace inside of us. That
Right.
doesn't work either.
That's not
I'm not
healthy.
apologizing for your peace. I'm apologizing for my peace. This
Thank you for the
situation done went
clarity
on too
because I was
long.
about to say something, but thank you for the clarification.
Okay. All
It
right,
ain't
go
for
ahead.
other people's
Because I'm
peace.
not the therapist.
It's for your peace. It is for your peace.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So we've been
So when
digressing
people
a lot
say your
because
apology, you what is it? Apologize for them, not for you, or something like that. I forget the saying because it don't make sense to me. But
um,
the thing is that when you think about how is this disrupting my life that they feel this way, it's something so small to go, let me just go ahead. It's not that you're taking responsibility for it, it's that you are accountable for your actions. You're accountable for your part. And all it does not take anything away from us to
right,
apologize for our part. Now, there are some people who will make up parts.
correct,
You
and they
understand what I'm
do.
saying? When I
Mm-hmm.
think about blended families, it's like, so you want him, this man that is the bonus parent, to apologize for living there? No, we ain't doing that. Like, you want him to apologize for marrying the relationship that you couldn't make? Yeah, let's back up off of that.
Sound like
But
a
at
you
the
problem.
same time,
Mm-hmm.
if he has said, you ain't allowed in the house just simply because he jealous, then yeah, he needs to apologize for that. But stages and phases. Let's go. I'm jumping the gun.
It's okay. So, I mean, and granted, we there's other aspects we can speak of, but I do want to
Triggered. I should put triggered across it.
get you little signs. Oh, but with that, what are some of the things, or here are some of the things that parents can do to work towards being an emotionally present, but a parent that's functioning from a place of actually having or working on their own emotional intelligence. Okay, I'm just saying, some of us don't have it. I'm telling you, and it's not in a ha ha way. It's really from a caring place. We
Yeah,
love the kids, okay?
yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, because I digress. So I'm trying to keep my thoughts
Okay, well, I'm
right
gonna
now.
start. I will start there. How you can
Okay, you
help
just
is T. So remember when Danielle said Google the list of feelings? When
yes,
Google the list, right? And then help your kids understand emotional vocabulary, right? Help
yes,
them say um words that help them better express like the difficulties, the complexities of their emotions. So everything can't be happy, mad, or sad, right?
right, right.
Sometimes you have disappointment. Sometimes you have joy. Sometimes
Sometimes
you
you have
have a
hurt.
bitterness.
Yeah,
Hurt. Come on now, hurt, right?
yes.
Sometimes it's like, I'm not happy or sad. Okay, so let's go ahead and use the word content, right? Because
Or
contentment is a very
indifferent.
thing.
Yes,
Come on
yes.
here. Sometimes it's like, I'm not angry. I just don't understand. Okay, so you're experiencing confusion. Like, we have
Right,
to get used
right.
to,
You have to
and so
navigate
I'm
them
thank you for
through
saying
that.
Google the words because I did. I was like, give me a
Yes,
list of
no,
feelings.
there's a lot.
And I was like, all of these are words that we know. And if we don't teach
Yes,
our children,
they're not.
right? How do you feel
Hmm.
about that? I feel some
Right,
excitement, but I
right.
feel scared, but you know what I mean? Rewording that to excitement.
Yes,
Again,
yes.
teaching myself that, but then going, no, no, no. When I'm on the airplane, that ain't no excitement. That is outright
That ain't
fear.
anticipation.
But it's the same feeling when I'm going to Magic Mountain. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
There you go.
that's
Right.
excitement. I'm
It
not
is.
scared. I'm excited. I want to get on all the rides. Now, when I get to a ride and I start seeing all these loops and back, and they know where the floor. Okay, if no floor, okay, it's nothing. Okay, now I'm scared. Now
Right,
I'm
right,
terrified. Okay. But teaching our kids how to
mm,
use the vocabulary of
right, right.
emotional intelligence is
And
going
then
to be the
also
best
with
part.
that, you as a parent using, practicing, because it's a practice. Do I
Hmm.
talk the same jargon, if you will, in my real life? A good part of the time, yes. My daughter be like, Mom, you're not in therapy. I'm sorry. Okay. I'll be over there conceptualizing everything. My bad, my bad. But however, there's moments when I don't. And so with that, you as an adult may need to look at that list yourself. And if you,
Yes.
I'm a visual person, so if you
Hmm.
Google the feelings wheel, it'll put in more colors and stuff if you need it. But
Wait,
use
the
that.
feelings will what? Wait, hold on.
No,
Say what is the
it's just
Googles?
the feelings will, and it'll pop up, and you can type in images, PDF, because you can
Oh,
print them.
will. I'm like,
Will,
I'm thinking WIL. So I
no,
was just like,
WHEEL. Yeah, because
okay,
I,
I
I
got
like
that.
colors
All
and
right.
stuff.
I am
So,
familiar with
but
the feelings
you
wheel.
practice that too. We don't necessarily know all the words, and sometimes in the moment our brain ain't functioning. So you may
Yes.
have to reference the list as well.
Yeah.
This is showing them you don't always know exactly the word that it is that you're feeling, but you know you're feeling something. And being able to identify it, that's the part. With identifying your feelings is
Hmm.
a part of learning how to validate yourself. And then also that aspect for a parent, you're listening with your ears and your eyes, your mouth shut. Your mouth is shut. And I'm saying that for a reason because we like, as parents, there is that tendency of wanting to speak for your child and tell them how they're feeling, or
Yep.
you shouldn't, or you should. No, that is your emotional experience. That's you
Yes.
feeling that way. That does not mean
Yes.
that they need or should or would feel that way as well.
Absolutely. And then sometimes like the feeling that they're feeling is shame because they're not meeting the need. They're not meeting their own need and they feeling shame. They're not meeting your need and they feeling shame. And they don't
Right.
know how to express that. They don't know how to say, I feel shame, not ashamed, but shame.
Shame. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I hope that's on the feelings wheel because I said it, but if it
It
ain't,
is. No,
add it.
it is.
Okay, I was gonna say put it on there. Like,
It is. And again, granted, the very examples that we're giving, there's always extreme. It's a
mhm,
range. There's always extremeness within this. Our show is only 50, 55 minutes, so we can only talk about so much given each show. But also, as a parent who was raised in a family with
mhm.
no emotional intelligence, or you may have had that one aunt, you know what I mean, or that one uncle, but it wasn't enough, for you, you saying, I'm not sure how I'm feeling either, or I'm not sure what to do with how I'm feeling or how you're feeling. It's okay to say that.
Yeah,
It is okay. There's a lot of unsaid messages from that, but your actions that follows plays a significant part as well. So you don't say, I don't know what to do with this and walk away. No, that's what you're not doing. What you are doing is like, okay, who is the friend? Who is the family member? If you don't have, well, let me finish my sentence. Who are able to, who kind of like are in sound mind, right?
mhm,
And who are able to provide good suggestions on how to address these specific behaviors or feelings with my child.
right,
If you feel you don't have that or you don't have that, Google. I mean, this day and age, there is no excuse.
right.
There's no excuse. It comes down to you just chose not to. That's what it is. So you communicating, mommy's learning or daddy's learning how to actually say what I'm feeling too. So at right now, I'm not really sure what to do. Let's look some options up and see which ones really are realistic for us. And
Right.
it shows that it's a process of one, there's an option, and two, how to navigate that.
Right.
And three, being realistic with yourself personally, with your family makeup,
Right.
because it can be done. And also just showing your child it can be done. So,
Okay. So because you said that, because
mhm,
my
mhm.
thoughts get triggered. I think that as parents, we listen enough so that our kids know that we're standing there. Right. There's the basic response and there's the nodding of the head. But
Right,
the active listening is so
right.
absent. Now, I am guilty of this myself. And so Kayla will say, Mom, can you, because when she want to talk to me, I'm usually doing something. Like I'm cleaning off the
But we're
counter
always
and
doing
I'm
something, right?
I'm sweeping the
Right?
floor, right?
We're always doing something, okay?
But
That is
she'll
not
say,
one thing.
Mom, I need you to look at me,
There
right?
you
And
go.
then I
Yeah.
know, like, let me turn my head. She'll say, Mom, put your phone down. Mom, close the laptop. And when she's saying that, I had to give her permission to say that because most kids don't feel that they can say that. Well, I had to give
Right.
her permission. This is your time, right?
Right.
So I have to turn everything off. I have to put everything down. Let me
Mhm.
look at you. Because when I'm communicating with Mr. Fiance, I'm like, hey, I need your attention. I don't
Right.
want him doing 18 things.
Things. Yes.
I want you to
Yes.
turn and look at me. So why would I think my kid would want anything less?
That's
And
correct.
so having that active listening, showing empathy, right?
Hmm.
Asking them about their feelings. Well, okay, tell me why you feel that way.
Yeah.
Validating their emotions. I totally understand why that makes sense to you. Even if it don't make sense to you as an adult. Put
Right.
yourself in their 15-year-old shoes, in their 11-year-old
Right.
shoes. I totally
Right.
understand that why that doesn't make sense to you.
And also, I can see why you feel that way. It's not
Mm-hmm.
for you to agree. So the key point of this is not for you to agree. It's
Right.
for you to acknowledge. I don't know why you don't feel. You all right? I don't know why.
It's the protein, and then it's like
Oh, okay.
I
It
was
was a
like,
clump. Okay, make sure you're good.
yeah.
But,
Hold on.
but
Hold
okay.
on. Okay, so I gotta explain because there's a gap right now.
Right, right.
I am drinking coffee, but it has protein inside. Because the protein is heated, it like creates a film, right? And so normally it just kind of moves out the way while I'm drinking. But this time it got in my mouth and I have texture issues, y'all. So it triggered my gag reflexes.
Yes, I
Danielle
had
is
to
like,
check over
"What are
friend.
you okay?"
Right, I had to check over friend.
Because I felt that little and it's
We get it.
listen, because there are people who like that part. It's it's like the
Oh.
crust in a peach cobbler or something. Not me. Not me. Like I
Okay.
baby, the way I be pulling it off and then moving it around and like I
Out the
just
way.
but I need my protein, right? And I know I'm not
Right.
gonna eat enough meat and all that to get it. So I put it in, make my coffee with my
I do
protein
as
drink.
well. I
Baby,
do as
listen,
well.
the
Yes.
way that almost changed my life just now. I'm so sorry. I don't do you remember where you were there? Yeah.
Well, let's see.
So
I
listen, where
wasn't
y'all
sure. My
see the
friend,
pause,
okay. My friend,
okay. Now look, because this show is pre-recorded. I know it say live, but it's pre-recorded, and we are live in the comments. However, baby, the way I just
oh
had
my
to save my
goodness.
own life right now. Go ahead, Danielle. Listen, and I'm
So,
not ashamed.
and I don't know, this is where we start. Well, actually, I'm giving something else because I don't even remember. Maybe to come back. But when you are
Sorry.
reinforcing, when you are reinforcing your children's feelings, when you are
Mm-hmm.
validating, excuse me, when you are validating your children's
Mm-hmm.
feelings, you can
Yes.
positively reinforce them communicating and expressing their feelings. So you can, and I do this in real life, the
Mm-hmm.
same way that I encourage in my therapy sessions. Acknowledge to your child. I'll call my child Hun. Hun, thank you for coming to me and having this difficult conversation or having this uncomfortable conversation, but it allowed me to understand what your experience was. It allowed me to understand your feelings. And it allowed
Right.
us to talk some things out and come to some resolutions. You didn't get everything you asked for, but however, I wasn't firm in everything. There were adjustments that were made.
Yes.
So, providing positive reinforcement basically encourages the behavior to continue.
Yes.
So, if I'll say this as well, because we talk about the real, are you always going to be in a space emotionally, or does he have the capacity to listen to these feelings? No, you are not. So, if you know that you had a long day, if you know you own some for whatever reason, you could say, right now, mommy, or right now, daddy, need some time.
Mm-hmm.
Or I've said I need time. I've said I don't have the capacity because yes, I do talk to my child this way, and I've been talking to her this way since she was 2, so she understands what that
Listen.
means.
Right.
So
Like we
I'm not
our
making up these
children pick
words
up on the
because we on the
lingo.
screen. No, this is
Right.
real life. And our mommy's tired. And I want to make sure that I'm able to listen to all your words
Yeah.
versus going to my mental to-do list.
Yeah.
So how later on tonight or tomorrow morning, give a specific
Hmm.
time frame. That
Yeah.
in itself are you're modeling, you're communicating where you're at emotionally, you're communicating where you're at mentally, and you're providing an option. And within that option, sometimes it's like, can you want to talk about it tonight or tomorrow morning? Or you're telling, we're going to talk about it tonight or tomorrow morning. So that positive reinforcement is a helpful tool to encourage your child's open communication
Yes.
on how they're feeling with you. Okay. With you.
Absolutely. With you and create that safe space so that they can share all of that without, feeling like they're going to be judged for their emotions and things like that. Creating that safe space where they can have that
Right.
conversation with you at any point in time. Like
Right.
I'm always advocate for the safe space environment,
Right.
because their
Yeah.
emotions are real. Even if you're like, oh my
Right.
God, they are so emotional, their emotions are real.
For real.
Let's handle it
Yes.
without
Yes.
enabling,
Yeah.
emotions that are misplaced. So
Yeah.
that's it. That's all I
Well,
got.
but I want to say lastly, I just remember something.
Okay. Okay.
These open conversation about their feelings, let them know that it's nothing wrong with them. I'm gonna say
Yes.
it again. It lets them
Yes.
know that it is nothing wrong with them.
Unless they 15 crying over a pencil, we might have to, you know, send them
Well,
to
on that note,
therapist
there's
thing.
that. So
Because damn. And I did. So just expect the referral. Because I was just like, this don't make no sense to me. So
that sounds like they need some family counseling.
okay. Well,
Starting with
give them
individual
that.
counseling with the mama. But anyway,
Okay.
but
You
yes,
give them that if it's in your scope, go for it. Because I sure send them to you. I'm a life coach. My job is to help you move forward. You need a therapist to help you deal with whatever going on back
a
there.
relational aspect.
Trauma.
So we hope that
I'm not
this
it.
was informative. We hope that you are able to take something or many things from this and
Yes.
understand how are you emotionally functioning, and
Yes.
from you being a individual first, how that is impacting your
Yes.
role as a parent.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Love it. Thank you. Drop us a line at the real on parenting at gmail.com.
Thank you for
I
slowing it
don't,
down because I just go with the flow, and you got me
honey,
talking loud and fast.
listen, I'm sorry. Okay.
No, you're
So
good. You're good.
this
You're
has been
good.
another episode. Join us. I think we're like at almost at the season finale. The
We
next episode is
are. We have
probably.
one would be the
Thank
last
you
one
for
for
riding
the
with me.
season.
I
Yes,
love it.
we
Thank you for letting me
appreciate
ride
it.
with you. How about that? I love you, girl. I'll see you.
Love you too.
Let's talk before our next episode. That'd be nice.
We will. We
All right.
will.
All right. Bye, you guys. Have a great day.